nose that has to like rub all over the towel when he's done. So the other thing I have to do is I have to make sure that he doesn't fall off the grooming table while he does that. I don't know if you can see him. Well, if I don't let him do it, then he gets very adamant and handsy through the rest of the groom. So I just kind of, I let him do it. He's doing it less and less as he gets older, but I just kind of let him do it because that's one of his instincts, is he wants to rub his head. So especially now, if that helps him get his head dry, then I'm not going to complain about it. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip this around his shoulder, give a little cushion in his armpit, and then I'm going to put the cotton in his ears, put my headset on. I'm going to blow dry him, and then you'll notice also that while I'm blow drying him, I do his toenails that he hates. And the reason I do it while I'm blow drying him, and yes, I might even get a little bit of a quick, but this is what I have determined over time works the best for him, because he hates it so much. If I blow dry him and cut his nails, it kind of distracts him a little bit. So I'm just getting my little belly strap ready. Got my little happy hoodie here. And I love these little cotton rounds, because if you want to, you can pull them in half for smaller dogs and put them in their ears. And I got to get down here by him just in case. Plenty of leverage. Okay, buddy. It's okay, Charlie. No. Don't be rude. Got a yucky ear. Is that what's going on? Oh, yeah. So that's why he was getting a little grumpy with me about this ear, because it's a little sore, but I have to do this so I can keep the blow dryer from annoying him. So I did go ahead and pull the cotton round in half because I don't want to hurt his ear. I was going to say, normally he doesn't nip at me about his ears. Yeah, that's a good boy. You can see he shoves his head right in there because he knows it makes him feel better. And I use the bigger one with him because he's kind of in between. And then the other thing I do is I make sure that his ear flap is laying flat and it's not mushed up sideways underneath there. So I hope you guys can see what I see. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Alright. So, at any rate, so now you're probably going to hear a voiceover, and I will explain. Alright, so here's your voiceover. I keep the towel on him. That makes him feel better. In my opinion, it kind of helps keep him a little bit warmer. I usually keep my hand on him the majority of the time so he knows where I am. The blow dryer is on low. It doesn't get super hot. It gets warm, but it doesn't get super hot. And it, in my opinion, is the best option for him. So I try to get him dry as quickly as possible and do as much as I possibly can with him laying down. And then I get out my T-strap. It's a wide strap that I put around his middle that helps support him to stand him up so I can get other things dry, because he likes to tuck his feet up underneath of him. So I put the strap on him, and then you'll notice that I'm going to put my hand underneath the rear of him and hold him up. Majority of the time it's me holding him up, and I'm using these other tools, these straps and the shoulder harness, to assist me. the majority of the time I'm actually holding him up. I'm using my hand underneath to keep him steady and to try to keep him from wandering off too far so that he is as safe as possible. So I just try to blow dry him as quickly as I can standing up so that we make this process as fast as we can. He's already getting tired, so I try to get that done really quickly. Pretty much the only thing that's still damp is his tail, which you'll notice I don't worry too much about because that'll get dry by the time we're done. And I just try to get his feet dry so that I can start on his toenails, which you'll notice I'm going to do here in just a minute. I figured out several groomings ago that for me to blow dry him and do his nails at the same time is what distracts him so that he doesn't get so upset over getting his nails done. So I'm getting ready to do that here in just a minute. And you'll also notice that I keep moving the strap around so it's not putting pressure on the same spot on his body. And then I also leave his feet down while I cut his nails. That is not my usual process that I do, but for him, that's what I do because the less amount of time I spend manipulating his joints and just in general moving him around, the better it is for him. So you'll notice this also this head bobbing kind of behavior. I haven't really figured out what that's about just yet. I don't know if it's him trying to lay down or if it's him trying to balance himself, but if I had the usual leash around his neck, he would be hanging in it and choking himself. So that's why I use the shoulder harness with him as well as the belly harness. It seems to make him the most comfortable during this process. And I don't really know what else to say here. So I think we're going to move on to the next section here in just a minute. Yeah, there he goes. He's a good boy. So I do a lot of touching him in different places and rubbing him and distracting him. So it makes everything, as easy as possible without struggle. And now we're going to move on to the next section. As you can see, I did clip one of his nails, but he didn't notice too much because we were distracted in with the blow dryer.